understand. I don't think they're going to ask me to do it again, so mission accomplished.
Ready? We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the October 17, 2024 meeting of the Board of County Commissioners for Shawnee County. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair this year. Joining me this morning is Commissioner Aaron Mays. Good morning. Good morning. Commissioner Bill Rippon. Good morning. Mr. Eckert is here as a county counselor.
Good morning.
And Ms. Otto's filling in for Ms. Beck as the clerk. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, our first item.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Are there any questions or is there a motion?
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 4, new business. A, county clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
This morning, we have vouchers totaling $3,798,321.65. Under infrastructure, there is an item for $238,537.80 to Sunflower Paving Incorporated. That is for the pavement replacement and construction work on 46th Street. Other than that, I don't have any items to point out, and I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Number 2, there are no correction orders.
Okay. Our next item.
Item B, health department, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-330-2024, renewal of agreement C-344-2018 and C-345-2018 with custom data processing, CDP for Easy EMRX electronic health record software for an estimated amount of $45,840 to be paid by program revenue, grants, and the departmental budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director of the Health Department. This is a one-year renewal agreement with Custom Data Processing. They are the company that owns and holds our electronic medical record. I worked with the County Counselor's Office on this, and we would like to extend this agreement by just 1 year. Be happy to answer any questions. This is included, I would note, in both our 24 and 25 budget.
Any questions?
None.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item. Thank you.
Item C, solid waste, number 1, request authorization to create and fill additional driver and collector positions within the solid waste department with funding from the solid waste operational budget, which is user fee funded with no tax dollars used.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. Throughout the past couple of years, we've experienced some growth, particularly in our eastern side of the county and our northern side of the county, whereas we had to actually add an additional route. So what this did is kind of depleted our reserve pool, so we'd like to increase our head count by 1 driver and 2 collectors. We have actually had quite a few applicants for our drivers, so we'd like to strike while the iron's hot and get this one filled. This has been run through Audit Finance and Human Resources, and they think this is a very favorable move. So subject to your questions, gentlemen.
Any questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Number 2, consider approval of request to issue a request for quotations for the purchase of various pieces of motorized equipment utilizing the 2025 solid waste operational funds, which are 100% user fee funded with no tax dollars used.
Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. So as presented in this summer's budget presentation, this is my 2025 vehicle purchase. The estimated expenditure amount would be approximately $1.4 million. That's not taken in or that's after considering trade-in value. So we'd like to go ahead and go out for bids on this and obviously pay with next year's funds, subject to your questions.
Any questions?
No.
Again, note that these are not tax dollars general fund. These are tax dollars from the solid waste fund.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions?
I would move for approval.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Our next item.
Item D, Department of Corrections, number 1. Consider authorization and execution of Contract C-331, 2024, Second Amendment to Agreement C-236, 2023 with KBS Constructors, Inc. for design and construction of behavioral health unit at the Adult Detention Center, setting a guaranteed maximum price of $20 million for the full project, to be paid from approved bond funds and state grant funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Phelps, Department of Corrections. This is the second amendment to our agreement that we started with design services, and then we went to site construction services. And this should close the loop so that we now have all of our subcontractors selected and priced. So the focus here is to make sure we use every penny that we get from the state. And so this has been set for a GMP of $20 million. So we get their full $10 million because they're agreeing to match. There are a number of pieces of the project that we could add on if we get the federal funds that we're expecting, but that will be under a different agreement. I'll be happy to answer any other questions you have.
Tim, my understanding is that the state has given us a timeline we have to expend their funds by, or?
Yes, and it roughly matches what the timeline is for the project anyway. It's $5 million for each fiscal year, which will end us up with in 2026, April or June of 2026, and we plan to be done by April. So.
Okay, great.
I appreciate that we have a representative from KBS here this morning. Thank you for being here. I might just ask, anything unexpected so far? Any? Nope. Okay.
Oh, that's good
Good.
to hear.
It's gone pretty well.
Good. We like to hear that.
We believe in grinding in the details at the front end so we don't get caught off guard.
Okay. Bill, any other questions?
Nope, no
I
questions.
move that we approve the
I
contract.
will second.
Motion to approve the contract by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And thank you for being here this morning. Our next item.
Item E, Sheriff's Office, number 1. Acknowledge that the Sheriff's Office is renewing Contract C-286, 2022, RTCC FUSUS System from Axon. Contract C-286, 2022, originally purchased under FUSUS, has been bought out by Axon. The total cost will be $955,962.32 over a 5-year period, with payment coming from the 2024 COPS grant along with budgeted funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Shane Hooper, Sheriff's Office. This is just an extension of the FUSUS Real-Time Crime Center that we've got several years ago. It will continue that contract. Axon purchased FUSUS, which actually enabled us to realize some other cost savings through some other products that we utilize from Axon, the interview room technology, et cetera. So plan to use as much as we possibly can out of the grant funds, and we'll have to use budgeted funds or find other funding sources as the years go on. Be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? All right. Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Number 2, the Sheriff's Office is requesting approval to go out for RFP bids for some vehicles for our process division. The current server vehicles are due for replacement.
Good morning again, Commissioner. Shane Hubler, Sheriff's Office. What we're asking to do is go out for an RFP for approximately six process server vehicles. Our civilian process servers drive civilian type cars. We have looked at several different contracts, the state contract and other contracts that we have availability to. Don't feel like, number one, the vehicles that they have available are really right for those servers and are as cost effective as we believe we can get if we go out for RFP. Just looking to go out, see what kind of prices we can get, and then establish what we can afford to go ahead and get.
How many miles a year? I mean, are we seeing the same amount of miles that a process server vehicle might drive as opposed to a sheriff's deputy?
No, they don't drive as many miles. They have a lot more street time. They spend a lot of their time within the city of Topeka. We obviously have servers that go outside the contingents of of the city of Topeka, but they don't put nearly as many miles on. These vehicles that they're currently driving, I believe, are 8 or 9 years old. I can remember when we bought them, and it's been quite a while.
Okay.
So,
Is there any sort of benefit in trying to use some of the vehicles that are coming to the end of their life as deputies, as we're phasing in new vehicles for the deputies, having their deputies' vehicles go down to process server?
We've actually considered that, and occasionally we'll have to have them utilize one of those vehicles as spare, but when we take our vehicles out of the patrol division, when they get miled out there, they typically go to warrants, the deputies in process, the courthouse people. By the time they would make it to the process servers, they'd be well over 150,000 miles, so probably at the end of their actual life for any use by the sheriff's office.
Okay. Other questions? Yes, Commissioner Mays.
Have you guys inquired about leasing as well? I know we've got a pretty robust leasing program here at the county.
Yeah, we've continued to look at the leasing program. Just don't know if it's really right for the sheriff's office. We've looked at it. We've looked at different aspects of it. With all these vehicles do have radios. They do have computers in them. That piece just changes it up enough that we believe we're going to be a lot more fiscally responsible if we just go out and purchase these vehicles.
Well, and today's, we're just getting a bid, and that's the action requested today, is just to know what's out there.
Absolutely.
So I'll make a motion to approve the request to go out for bid.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Our next item.
Commissioners,
Oh,
if I can back up to E1 for just a second. Jennifer's pointed this out. Jonathan Marzon has verified this. Since this is a 5-year contract and the sheriff's term is 4 years, I think that you actually need to have a motion to approve it as opposed to acknowledge it.
okay. So, is there procedurally,
Your motion to acknowledge isn't really
sure.
much. I think you can just do a direct vote to approve the contract.
As I was the person who made the motion, I would make a motion then to reconsider.
Reconsider the item, but I don't think you have to reconsider your previous vote.
Okay.
Okay.
I will make a motion to reconsider E1.
Second.
Motion made to reconsider E1 by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. As pointed out by our county counselor, this should be an approval as opposed to an acknowledgement. I would make a motion to approve the contract.
Second.
Motion to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed? That would pass then 3-0. All right.
Thank you.
Better safe than sorry.
Ms. Otto, you got all that?
I do.
All right. Our next item.
Item 5, public comment.
This is an opportunity for any member of the public to address the commission. Is there any member of the public that wishes to address the commission?
Of course.
Good morning, Henry McClure, Shawnee County, Kansas. A dear friend of mine the other day at a public meeting said, Henry, you know, your Lawrence Bay issue might have pulled a thread. And the comments that I've made in the public about Lawrence Bay and the a decade goes by of not collecting taxes. And as I talk about trying to sit up there with you guys, or two of you, what worries me more than anything is how many Lawrence Bays are in the hidden within the other people that haven't paid taxes. And maybe we need to look by the last name instead of, as your counselor says, you only look at the ID numbers, the parcel IDs numbers. Well, maybe we ought to cull the herd by last name, and maybe some of them just for some reason got overlooked over the years. it's very troubling to have people get special treatment, especially when it comes to paying taxes and property taxes. The county counselor points out that it's so laborious and it just seems like a mountainous tax every year, or a task to have these auctions and things. Have we ever just sat back and called somebody and say, would you just give us your property back? Why don't we have a voluntary surrender? You know, in the real estate business, we do deed in lieu of foreclosure all the time when people don't live up to a contract. So there doesn't have to be a legal mechanism. And the idea of your county counselor shaking his head over there about my comments.
I'm shaking head at the massive amounts of misinformation and how someone can get my comments so wrong. But go ahead.
Is that your, do I have to take that as a citizen? Is this now a back and forth? Have you changed the rules?
If you got a comment to make, Mr. McClure, make it.
Well, I think your county counselor is completely out of line.
I take that as a compliment.
Thank you. But this is a reflection of how you three run this business. This is a complete reflection that you let your counselor, you better tighten his leash. I think your counselor's action, a guilty dog barks the loudest. But so I digress. But boy, I'm really ready to rise to the challenge here. So how many Lawrence Bays are within, and when I say Lawrence Bays, the theory of Lawrence Bay, where some guy got overlooked. So, but how many other ones are in there and all the back taxes? How many, so we have a form online that you can point out the shortcomings of properties, but why don't we just start a thing where, hey, just give us the property. You're not going to pay taxes on it. So lawyers really like to make things complicated, because the more complicated things are, they think, you know, it justifies their position. Well, why don't we try to streamline the process? Let's have a, hey, give your property back day. If you're not going to do anything with it, and you're not going to pay taxes, and you don't really want it. You know, the other day I was on the WIBW's the Red Couch, and man, I sure gained a whole new respect for Melissa. She is a pro, and she really asked some good questions. Actually, she asked some questions that in hindsight, I sure would have answered differently. And there's things we can be doing today to make life better as far as our planning commissions go. There's an opportunity. You can create a third planning commission today that kicks the city out of the 3-mile radius, where they don't just have complete rule over it. The 3-mile radius is terrible because we don't have a public official that you could complain to, but not that you'd listen. You know, I've come down here and tried to make some suggestions. A guy that brought in a Pizza Hut that took 2 years to get a permit just to move them 600 feet. a brand-new Panda Express up at 25th and Rochester on the north side of Highway 24. A new Chick-fil-A, a new Whataburger. You know, these are all private enterprise working. But I don't stand here with any standing due to the fact it wasn't synthesized through the Greater Topeka Partnership. And I feel that way. I hope you two don't buy into this riverfront thing. It's the next boondoggle of Shawnee County. You're not going to be able to tie No-Toe in downtown Topeka. You know, your friend down there has got a lot of vacancies. See your signs. There's a lot of vacancies in downtown Topeka that there's millions of dollars of taxpayer money that didn't fill them up. I mean, if downtown was burgeoning with and no vacancies, and the same with No-Toe, there'd be some guy that would want to have a footbridge, and private enterprise would pay for it. But you can't make a market. My friend Paul was over here telling me, "Guy, look at this town. Look at this town and the success they had with the riverfront project." It doesn't always work. We can't keep trying to make markets that don't exist. If there were a market for it, a guy like me would be down here trying to get you to approve something and then running into roadblocks. But spending taxpayer money, the best way you can develop or help as government is to maybe waive fees for people in areas you don't want things. But this 3-mile radius thing, it's affecting me today. The city planning wants me to build a driveway, a concrete or, a paved driveway that opens up onto Hoke Road, which is a dirt road. And they don't even want to let me say, well, look, let me use gravel today. Let me use gravel today, and when you guys pave Hoke, I'll change it. They won't even do that. And that's where maybe the county's input might be more appropriate than having the city have the final decision. There's so many things we can do today to make it better, and we don't have to wait for an election today to make our life better. I'm really taken back by the way I was treated here today. Shame on you.
Any other public comment this morning? Any next item.
Administrative communications.
Is there any administrative communications this morning?
Good morning, Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. I just want to remind everybody that we're having our Gage Park Open House next week. That's Tuesday, the 22nd. It's from 6:30 to 8:30, and it's an opportunity for the public to come out and give their thoughts on our master plan process and some projects that we'd like to get some input on. So we encourage everybody to come out. We're actually going to, for those that will fill out a survey and turn it in either in person or online, we're going to have a raffle and give away a $50 gift certificate for Parks and Recreation programs or services. So come on out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Tim, did you want to mention the visitor at the Union Station today, or?
I
Great
do,
Overland
but I
Station?
don't have the details. We were just talking about it, so I
Okay.
think you're talking about Big Boy,
Yeah,
right?
Big
It's
Boy
coming
is
into town.
12:15 to 12:45 today.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
And the Model T Association, I believe, is coming
Yeah.
in.
yeah. Come on out. I'll be there. You see
you
the Big
and a
Boy,
lot of other
you
people,
can,
most
you can
likely.
meet me. No, just kidding. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Landon, Director of the Weed Department. As the weather starts to cool down here a little bit, we still got time to get pre-emergence down. You can do it all the way up till the time the ground freezes. So we're starting to winterize our sprayers. Just give me a call if you want to rent one. Be sure we have one in stock. We're going down from 9 to about 3, trying to get a little jump on the weather. So again, if you're looking for a sprayer, give me a call, 785-251-6931, or stop by our office.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other administrative communications this morning? Commissioner Rippon, a person who's rode in both Model Ts and a Big Boy.
Ouch. Man, I don't know. No, I don't have anything after that. I'm done.
Commissioner Mays?
I'll just say, so the Big Boy is exciting. A lot of
Yes.
people are going to be up there. Just want to remind everybody that trains are moving faster than you think. Stay off of the tracks. Something that big, it looks like it's moving slow, but it is not, and it is very dangerous to be anywhere near it while it's moving. So be careful up there, and everybody will have a good time.
Sounds good. I might just add, for those that are watching or present, Mr. McClure has left before the administrative communications, but when misinformation is put out, I think that we have a duty to stop misinformation so the public is not misled. Again, if you are a member of the public and you hear information that doesn't quite sound right, please do your due diligence in investigating, because it's easy to make statements that are not correct, not legal, or just not based in reality. So, our next item.
Executive sessions?
Is there a need for an executive session today? I see none, so we are adjourned.